The Final Hours, tracing the timeline of Menglong's last night and the events leading to the fatal fall. The sudden and tragic death of actor and singer Menglong on September 11th, 2025, sent a seismic shockwave through the Chinese entertainment industry and reverberated across the global fan community. At the age of 37, a beloved figure known for his roles in dramas like Go Princess Go and Eternal Love met his untimely end after a fall from a residential building in Beijing's Chaoyang district. What began as a local tragedy quickly spiraled into a national and international mystery, fueled by conflicting official reports, swirling social media speculation, and unsettling allegations of foul play, conspiracy, and cover-up. The official timeline, sparse and centered on the factor of intoxication, stands in stark contrast to the torrent of unverified, yet persistent, claims that paint a far darker picture of his final hours. This article attempts to trace the known and alleged timeline of Menglong's last night and the events that culminated in his fatal fall, delving into the facts presented by authorities, the statements from his family, and the explosive, often censored, counter-narratives that have gripped the public. The official narrative, as presented by Beijing police and reiterated by statements from his management team and initial comments attributed to his mother, is clear and concise. The death was ruled an accident due to intoxication. On the evening of September 11th, 2025, the community's property management confirmed a fatal fall had occurred. By 6:44 p.m. that day, Menglong's studio issued a statement confirming his passing and asserting that police had ruled out criminal involvement. A subsequent, more detailed police notice released later in September specified that the finding was based on an on-site examination, forensic tests, reviews of surveillance footage, and interviews. They concluded that Menglong died from an accidental fall after consuming alcohol. On September 16th, a second statement, purportedly from Yu's mother, was released, urging the public to cease speculation and accept the finding that her son accidentally fell to his death after drinking. For the authorities, the case was closed, filed as a tragic, private accident exacerbated by excessive alcohol consumption. However, the circumstances surrounding the event immediately began to breed skepticism. Early, now-deleted reports from a paparazzo provided a preliminary, albeit unconfirmed, timeline of the events preceding the fatal fall. According to this narrative, the last night of Menglong's life began on the evening of September 10th, 2025, at a friend's apartment in Beijing, where he was reportedly attending a private gathering with approximately 5 or 6 other individuals. The gathering reportedly involved heavy drinking, a fact that would later become a central, undisputed component of the official verdict. Sometime after 2 a.m. on September 11th, 2025, the paparazzo claimed Menglong retired to one of the bedrooms in the flat to sleep and locked the door. The next pivotal moment in this unverified timeline occurred hours later, around 5 a.m. on September 11th, 2025. This is the alleged window during which the fatal fall occurred. A property management staff member, cited in the early reports, stated that Yu fell from the flat around this time and died instantly. Crucially, the same report noted that the flat's window mesh was broken. Around 6 a.m., the remaining friends in the apartment were reportedly leaving when they discovered his body on the ground floor. A neighbor who was walking their dog in the residential community reportedly made the initial call to the police after discovering the body. This sequence of events, a late-night party, a period of isolation in a locked room, an early morning discovery, and the confirmed factor of intoxication, formed the initial, albeit incomplete, factual scaffolding that both the official ruling and the subsequent wave of public outcry would be built upon. The public's immediate reaction was one of profound disbelief and suspicion, which escalated into a global grassroots movement demanding further investigation. The fact that an otherwise healthy, 37-year-old celebrity would accidentally fall to his death from a high-rise window, especially after allegedly locking himself in a room, struck many as inherently suspicious. This collective doubt gave rise to a proliferation of dark and sensational counter-allegations that completely refuted the accidental fall ruling. One of the most disturbing, though unverified, claims centered around the events alleged to have transpired between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Unsubstantiated reports and alleged audio recordings began to circulate online, suggesting that the initial convivial atmosphere of the party devolved into something far more sinister. Some social media posts, later censored by authorities, alleged that Menglong was drugged, abused, or even tortured during this time. The existence of a final, alarming message purportedly sent by Yu to his mother before his death. "They may come and kill me anytime. I'm not joking and I'm not hallucinating," was widely circulated, though its authenticity was never confirmed. A particularly grim allegation, which led to significant public backlash against another actor, Fan Shichi, who was allegedly present at the drinking party, suggested a confrontation or assault had taken place. Recordings purportedly capturing Fan Shichi abusing Yu were circulated, and a voice print analysis was claimed to match Fan's voice with a high degree of certainty. Though not confirmed by authorities, the damage to Fan's public image was immediate and severe. Furthermore, other videos and audios, often spliced and fabricated according to the police, suggested horrifying acts: that he was hung from a high-rise building, that he sustained extreme injuries, and even claims that his abdomen was cut open to retrieve a USB drive, a theory often linked to allegations that he possessed compromising information about powerful figures. These sensational claims, which the police attempted to debunk by detaining 3 women for fabricating rumors, highlighted the depth of public distrust in the official explanation. The police strongly and repeatedly countered these conspiracy theories. Their official notice on September 21st directly addressed the online falsities, stating that the detained individuals had fabricated and disseminated false information, splicing together fabricated videos that severely disrupted public order. The authorities emphasized that their thorough investigation, which included forensic tests and surveillance reviews, ruled out criminal suspicion. Yet the public outrage persisted. The narrative was further complicated on September 25th when a letter, also attributed to Yu's mother, allegedly surfaced, contradicting her earlier statement and claiming that her son's death was not accidental, but instead the result of someone's deliberate intent to harm and alleging a cover-up. This second, highly inflammatory statement, while also unverified, reinforced the public's belief that powerful forces were at work to suppress the truth. The chasm between the officially sanctioned timeline and the public's persistent counter-narrative of Yu Menglong's final hours widened further with the emergence of details about the alleged evidence he possessed and the controversial actions taken by his family and management in the immediate aftermath. The police ruling, grounded in forensic evidence and interviews, was intended to be the definitive closure, yet it ironically became the fuel for the most expansive and persistent of the conspiracy theories, the allegation of a sophisticated, high-level cover-up. This deep-seated suspicion was not merely rooted in the sensational nature of the alleged murder, but in a profound distrust of the institutions tasked with investigating the matter. The most sensational and perhaps most politically charged of the counter-allegations revolved around the concept of a secret USB drive. This drive, allegedly containing highly compromising material, potentially evidence of corruption, organized crime, or illicit activities involving influential figures in the entertainment and political spheres, was the supposed motive for the actor's alleged torture and murder. The theory claimed that Yu, possibly an unwitting holder of this information, or perhaps attempting to use it for self-protection, was the target of a violent extraction attempt. The appalling rumor, which claimed his abdomen was cut open to retrieve the drive, was one of the specific fabrications cited by the Beijing police when they detained 3 women for spreading rumors. While the police definitively dismissed the existence of this gruesome act and the motive it implied, the narrative resonated deeply with a public condition to suspect the hidden influence of powerful big shots, as one of the detained women alleged, behind unexplained celebrity deaths. The fact that the police had to publicly address and debunk such a specific and horrifying detail underscored how entrenched the narrative of an evidence-related killing had become. Further deepening the controversy was the erratic and contradictory communication from Yu Menglong's family and management. The initial statement from his studio, confirming his death and the police's ruling out of criminal involvement, was issued swiftly on September 11th. Days later, on September 16th, a statement attributed to his mother, urging an end to speculation and accepting the accidental fall, seemed intended to put the matter to rest. This public acceptance, however, was quickly undermined by a subsequent, unverified letter, allegedly penned by the mother and reported on September 25th. This second document, highly inflammatory and widely circulated, directly reversed the family's official stance. It claimed the death was not accidental, but instead the result of someone's deliberate intent to harm, and explicitly alleged a cover-up was taking place. The letter, which also claimed restrictions were placed on the actions of the mother and sister, created a public relations disaster and served as circumstantial evidence, in the public's eyes, that the family was being pressured or silenced. The sheer volume of contradictions, a police ruling of accidental death, an initial family statement of acceptance, and a later, unverified statement of murder and cover-up, created an environment of epistemic chaos. For many fans, the authenticity of the unverified letter felt more truthful than the official decree, which was seen as a product of coercion. This public sentiment was directly linked to the alleged presence of other celebrities at the gathering, particularly actor Fan Shiqi. Fan Shiqi's alleged involvement became a lightning rod for the public's anger. Accusations of verbal and physical abuse, fueled by purported audio recordings, resulted in a swift and devastating social media backlash. Fan Shiqi faced significant career repercussions, including the removal of promotional materials for an unreleased drama and highly publicized reports of poor ticket sales for his concert. While Fan Shiqi retained legal counsel to file lawsuits against the allegations, the damage was done. The public had already convicted those allegedly present, viewing their silence or lack of a proactive defense as complicity in either the accident or the cover-up. The timeline of the aftermath, therefore, is not a cooling down of the event, but a continuous state of escalation. September 11th. Fatal fall confirmed. Studio confirms death and accidental ruling. September 16th. Official statement from Yu's mother urging acceptance of the accidental ruling. September 21st. Police issue official bulletin ruling out criminal suspicion and detailing the detention of 3 women for rumor-mongering, explicitly debunking theories like the USB drive and torture. September 25th. Alleged unverified contradictory letter from the mother surfaces, alleging murder and a cover-up. Ongoing public boycott, social media campaigns, and persistent demands for an independent investigation, focusing ire on Fan Shiqi and Tianyu Media. The enduring mystery of Yu Menglong's final hours lies not just in the truth of what happened between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. on September 11th, but in the failure of the official narrative to command public trust. The circumstances, the broken window mesh, the intoxication, the private gathering of high-profile individuals, the swift closure by police, and the contradictory family statements created a perfect storm of suspicion. The accidental fall, a simple, tragic explanation, was eclipsed by the belief in a conspiracy. The actor's untimely demise, thus, became a flashpoint for deep-seated socio-political anxieties about power, accountability, and the manufactured reality of the celebrity world, leaving his true final moments forever debated in the court of public opinion.